The recording is on. Okay, so in the previous session, we have seen the constructors. Okay, so in this and private field. Okay, and in this session, we will be seeing getters and setters. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so what you have to do, you have to create a new folder, okay? And what you're supposed to do, go into the file and open folder, okay? And when you select open folder, you have to select any folder, empty folder, okay? If it's not empty, you go here and click, right click and create folder, okay? So basically, you have to create a new folder in here, okay? So you have to, do you have a screen, bro? Yes, you have my screen, no?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So you have to choose a particular folder. See, like here, I'm selecting this is private getter setter. Okay. So I'm selecting that folder in here. So I can see empty folder in here. Okay. So now what I have to do is, first we will see what we are going to learn. So let me just, create a new file in here. And in that comment, we will write the, okay. So this is like main.dart file. Okay. So in this one, I'll provide some comment. So, what we are supposed to do in this is first what you will learn. You learn about Dart, Gator, and Setter. Okay, and how to use them. Okay, to provide access. Okay, to provide access to private fields. So getters and setters, it is used to give access provide access to, private fields. So private fields, that it cannot be accessed directly inside, main function if that file, the class, if it is in different library. Meaning what? Let's say I have, here a new file I'm going to create in here. Okay. And we will name this one as circle because we want to you know do in here area of circle. Okay, we want to find, so this is the circle class. Okay, and we will create, see, this file we want to import it here. Okay, and this is another file, isn't it? So this is another file. So in this, suppose there is a class called circle. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, define some properties in here. Let's say double and, radius is here. Okay. And, we are defining this radius here. Okay. And let's say I want to, assign this property. And this is a private. How come? This is private because it has underscore. Okay. So this is a private field. And let's say I want to, create an object and assign the radius, but from the main function, which is another file. See, you can clearly see the code is divided in two parts. Okay, two files. You have one class in, class circle in circle.dart, and you can rename this one. Okay, just to avoid confusion, you know, it's a circle file. Okay, and now you can close this. Okay, now we have to import this one in here. Okay, so how to import actually? See, you have to import it like this. Import, the name of the file dot. Okay, you're not importing a class, you're importing a file circle dot. Okay, so inside this file, you have this circle class which will be, imported in here. Okay, so basically what you're doing, you're importing a class, okay, circle in this file, okay, in this workspace. It's like, let's say this main.dart, it's a function event. Okay. Let's say you are throwing a birthday party. Okay. And you booked, like you booked a hall. Okay. Or lawn. And this is this main.dart where actually the event is going to take place. Main.dart, it's a file, it's a event where the event is going to happen. Okay. And you need to import, send invitations to the people. No, if you don't import, that means if you don't invite people, you know, they will not come to your event, isn't it? So event is happening in main dot dart, isn't it? You need to import, like say import circle dot dart. So is this circle dot dart, it's one family that you want to import. Okay. If you don't invite them, import is just like calling them. Okay. Yeah, the event is going on in the main dot dart file, please come. Okay. It's like that. And you are importing this circle dot dart so that in this one all the classes, like there is only one class for now, there could be multiple classes defined in it. So so these classes will be imported in this main dot dart file. Okay. So and if you don't do import, no, it's not going to come to the event. Okay. They will not be a part of this event. Okay, you cannot access them. So we have already created in here, we have created class in another file and we imported in here. Now we can use that class in here. Okay, so main function is in here, and how to create a object one. It's a OV1, and you're creating object for circle. Okay, so now what to do? You need to assign this OB1's property. OB1's property is, radius, but it's a private property. Okay, so that means you cannot access it in here, OB1 dot. If you say radius, it's going to give you error. You cannot do that. Neither you can assign, neither you can, assign a value to radius, nor you can print it. Okay, as because these are private properties for the class, you cannot access it in another file. Okay, in the same file you can do that. Let's say in the circle dot dart you have this main function. Okay, no doubt you can access it, so there will be no error at all. See, you don't see error in here. See, do you see error in this one? No. And in this one, yes, you can see the red marks here that it says the radius, it is undefined here. Okay. And you don't have getters and setters for to define these private fields. Okay. So that is the thing. So if it is the same class, okay, same file, okay, you can directly access this private. Okay. So let's get rid of this because we want to learn how to import the class in another file. So in the main dot dart, we are importing this circle dot dart file, and we cannot do this. So, as in because this circle class has private field is radius. Okay, this is private. And, we need to define here one constructor. Okay, let's add a constructor in here. Okay. So how to add constructor? It's a constructor name is the same name as a class. Okay, it receives one parameter in here. Okay, double R. Okay, so R is the value, okay, that we need to give it to, our private field, okay, radius. Okay, radius is equal to R. But see, what happens? This R value will be assigned to radius, okay, and through constructor. All right. So in this constructor, we are assigning this R value that, along with the object that we are going to send, okay. And in the main function, okay, let's say this in the main function, we are going to give value in here, okay, 100. Okay, and let's comment this part, okay. Let's comment out this code because unless getters and setters are there, it's not going to work. Okay, let's run this code. Okay, here is the run. Okay, above void there is a run button. I'm going to execute that. Okay, see, it's not going to give us any output, but the code ran successfully without any error. All right, you got it. Okay, so now what to do is, that the issue that it has like circle class. Okay, you cannot access or modify this object, this property, private property radius outside this class. Okay, to fix this, to make this radius accessible. Okay, so you need to do what? You need to, assign it. Let's say use a setter one here. Okay, what is set? Actually, it's like a constructor only. Okay, so what you do, you know, you create one same class like constructor. Okay, it's a same class like constructor. All right. See, I'll create more space in here. See, only thing is that the name of the constructor will be the property name. Okay, so radius is in here. So I'm giving this name radius. Okay, and this is a setter. Okay, so I'm going to use set in here. Okay, so set is a setter. We set the radius property and it receives value and it gives this value to radius. Okay, that's it. Okay, and to know that this was called, okay, we can use in here print statement. Okay, we can say that setter function got called. Okay, how it was called, setter function was called. Okay, so now we can just finish this statement. Now how to call this one? Okay, see how to call this one. In order to call this one, you're going to need, you need to assign the like this, okay? The OB1 dot radius directly. You don't assign it like this as if it is a private field, okay? If you do that, it is going to give you error, okay? But you need to assign it. You need to call setter function. Setter function name is radius. See, set radius. So this is the one you have to call, okay? So I'm going to get rid of this underscore. Okay, and you need to save it this. Okay, and let me check in here the radius. I need to copy and paste it in here. Let's save this. Okay, so in this one what we have done is that you are assigning this value, okay, 100. Okay, and to this radius one, dart will automatically call this radius setter. Okay, this radius setter, it will automatically call this radius setter. Okay, now see, when this file got saved, the error is gone. Okay, now it's done. We can assign this value. Okay, so to make sure that this function was called. Okay, setter was called. So we are printing one statement here. Setter function was called, and let's run this. Okay, so we are executing. See, here you see setter function was called. That means our object's private field radius, it was set. Okay, you're not accessing the radius private field. You're not accessing this in the main function. You're accessing, through radius function, the private field. You got it? So this is actually, called setter function. Okay, so now what to do? We need to put validation logic, okay, in the constructor. We don't want to assign minus negative values to the radius. So in that case we use some logic, if logic. We say if let's say r less greater than or equal to 0, okay, then only if the value is either 0 or it's more than 0, okay, then only you give this value r to radius. Okay, you understand? And similarly, what we do, we use this logic, inside a setter function, setter one. Okay, so inside this, I'm going to use this same logic in here. Only assign the radius value. Okay, r value when it's greater than, okay, or equal to 0. Okay, you can call this radius function in constructor also. Okay, you don't have to write it like this. Okay, all you have to do is just delete this. You have to say this dot radius. Okay, and you need to give this r value to it. Okay, so basically this is calling setter function again. Okay. Okay, so through constructor, you're calling radius function and you're assigning this r value. Okay. So this is how it works, setter function. Okay. Uh, okay, let's run this. Make sure there's no errors in it. Okay, setter function was called. All right. So next is getters. Okay, what is getter? Okay. So let me write it in here. What is getters? Okay. Okay. In the previous we have seen, setters will, it will set the objects, private field. Means a field means data, okay, private data. Okay, set the object's private field, set the value of object's private field, okay, and this will get the submit. It's a reverse, okay, it's vice versa. It will get the value, get the private field value. Private field means data value, okay. It will return it. It will return the private. So it's better we say return, okay. And here we say assign. It will assign the value, okay, private field values, okay. Just we'll do this. Okay. So we need getters now. Okay. Setters are only to assign the values. Okay. But we need to get the value, private field. We cannot do this. Okay. Print ob1 dot private field. I cannot directly access it. Okay. This is going to give us error. Through getters only we can get the value. Okay, so how to do that? In order to get the value, we need to, use getter one. Okay, you need to use getter. So a setter, a getter, they are special, it's a special method actually. Let me put it here. Setter, getter is a, special method. Okay, all right. And it get, keyword, you have to use before property name. Okay. So, property name you have to use get. So like set, you use this set one. Okay. In this one, see, you have to you use the set keyword before property name. Okay. And you use the get before property name. Okay. So let's get the radius. What we need to do. You need to define one, so it's going to give you the double value. Okay, this radius private field is of type double. If it was integer, you could have written here integer. Okay, so our private field radius is double. Okay, so okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, do you have my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so in here, what we have to do is we have, getter function as if like setter function. Okay, so we getter function will do, it will give you the private fields value. Okay, so private field is radius. Okay, just you have to use keyword get before private field radius. Okay, and then you have to, use in here get radius, and that's it. Okay, so here you say double get and radius. All right. So in here, okay. So let me type in here some information. Okay. So you're returning what? Private, you know, it's a radius. Okay. That is what you're returning. Okay. It's returning the value. Okay. And let's save this one. Get rid of these function blocks. Okay. Let's save this. Okay, so it's ready now. If you want radius now, you just call this one. Okay, object of this circle class, object of this circle class dot radius, and it will give you the private field value of that object. So you just instead of ob1 dot underscore radius, underscore means private. So instead of that, you just say radius. Okay, and you type that in ob1 dot radius. Okay. All right, so that's it. You're not calling private field, you are calling getter here, okay? You're calling this, not this one, private field. You're calling, you know, this one, radius, okay? So, it has only one line of code, okay, in here, okay? So let's save this, let's see if it can print, radius 100. Okay, it's printing 100C. And if we, have the then constructed, what we do, we pass on one. Okay, let's save it. And in here, we are, through setter, we are assigning the value. 100 to the radius. So let's run this. See, setter function was called okay, it is assigned, it has assigned 100 value. If you don't do that, okay, let me check what happens. Okay, it should print one value. Okay, so let me run this. So it's printing 1.0, so that means setter is working, and getter is also working. Okay, so I hope this part is clear to you. Okay, so now in this one, what we have to do is we have to now make it in one line. Okay, so make this one in one line. So this is like single line statement. You can you can write it this way also. Okay, let me comment this one first. Okay, it's an arrow function. Okay, you can convert this getter to arrow function. Okay, any single line functions can be converted to you know arrow function. Okay, so this since this getter has only one line of code. Okay, you can use the arrow function. Okay, arrow syntax to make it more concise. Okay, how to do that? Okay, so double will be there. Okay, gate will be there, radius will be there. Okay, and then arrow function will be there, and only it has no return. Okay, so there you go, you have radius, and that's it, just semicolon. Okay, so this is the replacement for these lines of code. Okay, so it's more concise. Let me just uh here run this code. Okay, all right, so it's going to give me 100. Okay, why it's calling two setter function was called two times. Okay, let me tell you. See, first thing, you're calling constructor here. Okay, so this constructor it is getting called. So what this constructor does, see, this constructor will call setter function. Okay, through setter function, you are assigning the value of private field radius. So this is calling set function. So this is constructor is calling radius. Okay, this setter function. Okay, so what is happening? So in the first time it is calling setter function was called. So next time what is happening? You're directly calling this setter function. Okay, so why I'm saying this is a function, because setter and getter acts like a function. Okay, so now you're calling this. Okay, ob1 dot radius, assigning this 100 value. Okay, now this is calling this setter. Okay, radius. All right. So it will be easier for you to understand setter and getter. It's like the same thing like a function. Okay, but the role of these functions are to assign the values to the private data of the classes. Okay. All right. So now let's, as like this, gate radius, you can define many, such getters. Okay. So that's called computed properties. Okay. So we can assign many different properties in here. So that's called computed properties. So let me just put it in here, computed property. Okay. So what is computed property? So by using, getter, you can define this computed property. Let me type it. By using a getter, you can define a computed property. Okay. What is computed property? Okay. So it's not a field. Remember this. This property, it's not a, you know, this property, it's not a, dedicated field. Okay. Dedicated field or data of class. Okay, data of class, it's not a data of class like this, in the class, we have radius, this field. Okay, it's not like that. Okay, computed property is something which is not a field. Okay, which is not a data for the class. Okay, so it just computed runtime and returning the value. Okay, so it's not like having a field here of the class. Okay, or property of the class. So that's called property. This is a property. This is also a property. Any function, any data, okay, variable of a class or function of a class. It's called property of the class. Okay. So when I'm saying property, so it's actually it does exist. Okay. But what is computed property? That it's not a dedicated field. Okay. But it is called, it is computed and called okay, as and when needed, okay. So what, how does it work? Okay, let's say I want to call the, I want to get the area of the circle. So what I can do, I can just say double get, area, and then I can just create in function, okay, like this. This is area, and this is going to give me, returning the area. It's, the radius, okay, into radius into 3.147. This is the formula for, finding the area of the circle. Okay. So, this area is not a field. Look at here. We don't have the radius area. We don't have the area in here. Okay. Do we? No. So that is what, this is called computed property. Okay, so this is called computed property. You can, write it like this: get area. Okay, and you just need to, you can make the arrow function out of this also. You just need to get rid of this, functions block curly braces. Okay, and then delete the return one. Okay, and just delete this one, and it's done. Okay, so this is like arrow function now. All you have to do, in the main function, okay, is call the, in the print function, you can do ob1 dot area. Okay, it should give you the area when the, radius is 10. What should be the area? Okay, so let me just, get rid of this first, setter function call, because it is always, throwing up in the output. Okay, and in this one, I can say the area of circle is, and then in this one ob1 dot area, okay, and then close this one, okay, or you can put it in any variable like this is equal to ob1 dot area, okay, and just put the variable here, or this is the area, so I will just put answer, okay, and show the answer here, dollar answer. Okay, however it works. So I'll just, here I'll just say, area of radius of circle is and dollar ob1 dot radius, and here string is computed. So let's run this code. Okay, okay, what did they say? Detail import paths for some of the dot html. Okay, let me check. There is something wrong in here. Okay. Here it became dot HTML. How come? Okay, how did it appear in here? Okay, all right. So just save it. Okay, guys, there was mistake here that import HTML. It was the statement added. I don't know how it got there. So just run this code now. Okay. Okay, see here it says radius of the circle, okay, it is the instance circle radius it is showing, okay. Just what you do, you put this, in a curly braces instead, or that you can put it in, here it is printing, instances of, okay, like this, it's first printing ob1 and then showing dot radius next, okay. So it's first doing this one, okay, and then that one, so you need to group it this, okay, so you need to group it this, and then it is going to work. So we have to do this in curly braces, okay, and then run this. Radius of circle is 10.0 and area of circle is 314.7. Okay, so this is how, getter function comes in handy. Okay, so the this example, that I have just explained you, the getter, it is to define the area. Okay, this is how we define the area. Okay, as a computed property. So this is a computed property. It's not a dedicated field. Okay, property means a data field. Okay, okay, it's a computed property now. Okay, so by doing this now you can get the area of the circle. Okay, so by doing this, and you just need to call it like, as if it's a property area. Okay, data field. All right. Okay, so in order to summarize, what we have learned, okay, So, the first point is conclusion. Okay, today's session conclusion is the first point is we can use, getter setter to provide access to our private field. Okay, and second point, we can say a computed property is not based on a dedicated field. Okay, so computed property it is not based on the dedicated field. Okay, but actually, it is it is computed and it is computed when it is called. Okay, so this area is computed. Okay, this area is computed when it was called. Okay, it's not a area is not a dedicated field. So that's all actually, from the getters and setters. So let me just, let's we just go through this, point by point what we have learned. Okay. So in overall, what we have learned is dart, getter and setter, how to use them to provide access to this private field. So circle class has this private field. Okay, radius is the private field. Okay, and we want to access this in a different library means different file. So this circle class, it doesn't have a main function. We need to import this class. Okay, wherever we need this. Okay, so it's like, circle class, we want to use this in our main dot file. Okay, so it's like, let's say Nilesh, you need the circle dot file, so you are importing this. Nine also needs this circle dot file. Okay, so she is also using this circle dot in her file. So it's like this class can be imported in multiple libraries, multiple files. Okay, so now if you need to access this private field of this circle class, okay, you need to like assign. See, private fields means you need to assign the values, you need to read the values of the private field, right? So radius, you want to assign the radius, you want to get the value of the radius, so read and write operations, how you can perform on the private field from this main.dart file. So how do you do that? So it's a different library. You cannot directly access, okay, like this. You cannot directly print the private field, okay? You don't have that permission. So for that purpose, you need setters and getters. So set, okay, by the name of this setter, you come to know that it is used to assign the value to the private field. Okay, so how to define this setter? You just need to create one, same as like constructor, you need to define one radius like this. Okay, all right. So this is like, getter. Now setter is here. Okay, so like constructor, you have to define one function. Okay, so constructor has a name same as class name, but setter will have the name as a field name. Okay, so your field name is radius. Okay, so look at here, we have the radius, it's a private field. So we don't use underscore in here. Okay, set radius. So through this function, we want to assign the value that we want to assign from the main.dart file. So let's say here we are checking if the value is greater than 0, okay, then only you assign this private value. Okay, and then once this radius, it is assigned, okay, that means setter has, done its job. Okay, now the private field of the object has, radius. Okay, now another part is, is getter. Okay, we have just successfully assigned the value to the setter. Okay, we have just successfully assigned the value, okay, to the private field using setter. Now we want to get the value of the private field. Okay, so how to get the value private field? Okay, we need to use getter. Okay, so that's how we define the getter. See, it's like, this instead of get radius, as like we have set radius, we use get radius, but get radius doesn't accept values. Okay, and it returns a value, so it has return type double. Okay, so as this is returning value, okay, so it is double. Now the type of the private field is private field radius, the type is double. Hence, this function having return type double. If it was integer, this would have been int. Okay, and after this, you can write the getter like this, or you can write the arrow function. Okay, so this is the arrow syntax. And now this getter will return you the radius, private fields value. Okay, and then in the main dot file, you can use this, into okay your print function. Okay, you can write it this way, or if you want, you can directly instead of creating variable, you know, you can instead of variable you can do print. Okay, and in here you say area of circle is and dollar curly braces ob1 dot area. Okay, this is also you this will also work. Okay, so let me save this and let me run this. Okay, so 2 times area of circle will be printed. Okay, you can first call the area. Okay, getter will return. This is the computer property. Okay, and you can print this radius of. Okay, radius is the private field. Okay, radius is the private field. Okay, so that's all, guys. Okay, in today's session we have learned start, getter, and setter. Okay, so there will be assignment for you to do. Okay, like here we have we computed. Okay, like area of circle. Okay, similarly you can compute the perimeter of circle. Okay, just you have to do in here. Okay, here just do copy paste. Here you say perimeter peri, and here it's a 2 pi r. So you say 2 into, okay, pi into, okay, r. So it's a 2 pi r, okay, and it should give you the radius or perimeter. Okay, all you have to do is copy and paste it in here, and you say here perimeter of circle is ob1 dot, you say peri, and this is the computed property again. Okay, and just save it and run it. Okay, this should give you perimeter. Okay, let me just see here. Okay, let's run this. Okay, you got perimeter of circle here. Okay, likewise, there is assignment for you to do. You can find area of triangle. You can find area of triangle. Okay, these are the assignments I am giving you in here. You have to do it. Assignments. Okay, the first assignment, like it's a circle class you have created. No, you create rectangle class. Okay, so two computed properties will be, like finding area and perimeter. Okay, and another assignment is you have to do, for triangle class you create, and you have to find area and perimeter, and then square. Okay, you have to do square here. Okay, same area and perimeter. Okay, so these three assignments you have to do. Okay, so that's it. That's it, and we will see you in the next session. Okay, have a nice day. See you in the next session. Bye bye.